hole. Come on. Fishing hole.
21-month-old Christopher Scrimsher, when he's not competing in beauty pageants, is usually at his favorite fishing hole. And when he's at this one, he's not the only one around.
I tell you why I can't find you. Every time I go out to your place, you gone fishing.
Ah, you know.
But there's a sign upon your door.
Uh-huh.
Gone fishing.
I'm real gone, man.
You ain't working anymore.
Could be.
There's your hole out in the sun.
Christopher was by far the youngest fisherman to try his luck Saturday at North Alabama's newest fish pond, the Fishing Hole. Open for about a week, the Fishing Hole, located just outside Huntsville, is fully stocked with more than 30,000 pounds of blue channel catfish just waiting to bite a weenie.
Yeah, we'll guarantee they can catch a fish. They can come out. Anyone that's never caught a fish, they can come out here, and we will guarantee them they will catch a fish. They'll have a great time, enjoy themselves.
Well, this is fantastic. You take and bring a small child out here, and they can catch enough fish in a couple hours and be thrilled to death. It's not like going out on a lake or something and not catching anything.
On my door I'd hang a sign, gone fishing, instead of wishing.
Golly.
Looking for a place to bring the family? Bring them to the Fishing Hole, because even if you're not much of a fisherman like me, you'll still have a good time. And should you not catch anything, they got fillets to get on the way out. At the Fishing Hole, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. Would be nice if I could get a bite, though, wouldn't it? Sunday was a day for visiting with old friends, remembering loved ones, and sharing a good time. Sunday was homecoming at the Bee Springs Church in Giles County, Tennessee. The congregation only meets once a year here at this historic church. 80-year-old Kelly Mitchell knows the history all too well. In 1909, a killer cyclone took the old church, plus the lives of 27 local folks. Mitchell's father and sister were among them.
And there was 25 more beside them.
Killed by a cyclone?
It's killed by cyclone. And there were 6 buried in one grave over there, killed the whole family.
The Bee Spring Church is known for something else besides the cyclone of 1909. It's known for its water. And folks come from miles around just to take a jug of it home.
All that I can say is just they ain't none nowhere else any better. It's just delicious.
The Bee Spring congregation only meets once a year. It's an old-fashioned reunion of family and friends.
A lot of people hardball come up here.
It's also a time for them to rekindle old memories from Bee Springs and take a little bit of the past back with them. At Bee Springs Church, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. That's some good water. Nita Hopper knows how to shop for groceries. She also knows it pays to be quick. Last week in Guntersville, Nita had 3 minutes in Foodland in which to grab as many groceries as she could get to the checkout counter.
If we're ready, on your mark, get set, and go.
Nita had won a $1,000 shopping spree from Am South Bank, and naturally, without wasting time, her only stop was the meat counter.
Well, yeah, if they'd win $1,000, I'd be faster than that.
Yeah, what?
If I won the money, I'd done faster than that. I probably went over the counter.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up.
How was it?
Thrilling. Oh, thrilling. I loved it.
$1,000.43. That's with the TV guide. Did you get everything you wanted?
Almost.
Except what?
Washing powders.
You'll have to buy those. In Gunnersville, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. Reckon I could borrow a few steaks for tonight. I really like to cook out.
I'll give you some ground chuck.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, is we get a picture here? Which camera? Do you know? You know that one?
22-year-old Kelly Cash is not just another pretty face. This pretty face belongs to Miss America. Yesterday, Miss America was in Pulaski, Tennessee at the First National Bank of Pulaski, doing exactly what Miss America's supposed to do, look all-American. At the same time, she was meeting and mingling with bank customers, all much to the delight of Bank President Robert Curry, who brought Miss America here.
Each year we have an outing for our stockholders, which is on there to a fish fry. So since Miss America's from Tennessee, we thought it'd be well to have them.
And our new Miss America is Miss Tennessee, Kelly Cash.
Well, I spend a lot of my time in the year traveling across the country, and many times I go into the smaller towns and counties for things just like this, you know, appearing for the bank and letting the people of the community see me, see that I'm a real person, and it's always very fun for me.
Do you ever get tired of honestly people taking your picture and smiling and being this goody-goody all the time?
Not really. I haven't stopped smiling since I got my braces off, which was about 7 years ago.
Miss America also displayed her singing ability to the folks in her hometown state. After all, she is the niece of Johnny Cash. Last year for the stockholders here at the First National Bank of Pulaski, they had a fish fry. This year they've got Miss America, and I must say, you look certainly better than any fish I've ever seen fried.
I guarantee I smell better, too.
Yes, you do. You got me on that one. That's First National Bank of Pulaski with Miss America. I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. By the way, are you opening an account here?
I don't know. I may buy some stock.
Remember Risa, the 2-year-old pet monkey of Tony and Peggy Campbell? Well, now that Risa has grown into monkey maturity, naturally, she's got a boyfriend, Herbie. And last week, the two were united for the first time. Herbie and Risa have their own honeymoon cottage, complete with shingled roof, porch, rope, and pool. No one could be more happier for the two than Tony and Peggy Campbell. Well, how do they like each other?
They seem to be getting along okay. I hope to raise some little ones off of them.
Well, how would you describe Herbie?
He's just laid back. He's a lot different than she is. She's more active. He just sits around, kind of in his own little world.
How would you describe their courtship so far?
It's been perfect. A romance made in heaven. They've got along so good, just like they were meant for each other. It's her future husband.
The Campbells are hopeful that in about 9 months there'll be a few little yard apes running about the Campbell household. But of course, that's all up to Herbie and Risa. Risa and Herbie appear to be as happy as any newlyweds. And yes, monkey business will play a big part in their marriage. Here, Risa, here's your wedding present. Another banana. And Hustle, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. I guess she'll do all the talking for the family. Here, thank you. Thank you. Before most of you have even gotten up, breakfast is already being served at one of this area's best-known eateries, Eunice's. You can be a complete stranger in here and feel at home. And the food's good, too.
Here's the one that gives me a good hug. Come here. Come here, boy.
Nothing fancy, but good old country cooking at its very best. For almost 35 years, Eunice Merrill has been operating her near-legendary restaurant, which serves breakfast only till 1 p.m. at the same location on Andrew Jackson in Huntsville. One of 12 children, Eunice knows firsthand about feeding a big family, and serving a good breakfast is what Eunice's is all about.
Well, my mother was a mother of 12 children. I was brought up in a large family, and my mother cooked like we do, and I learned from my mother. We cooked just like Mother did.
So you ate good in those days?
We ate good in those days. We were poor folks, farm people, but we had plenty to eat. That's the one thing we had.
Country ham and homemade biscuits, down-home goodness and a homey atmosphere. All make breakfast at Eunice's something to remember. There's certainly no place quite like Eunice's for a good country breakfast. And tomorrow morning, bright and early at 6:30 a.m., Gary Dobbs and me will be here serving breakfast to help benefit the Arthritis Foundation. So y'all come see us. Right, Eunice?
Right. Thank you, Jamie.
At Eunice's, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper.
How can you do it at 50 years old?
Like I said, you get hungry, you got to do it.
This is work.
Yeah, it's work. It's work, but it'll keep you in shape and keep you out of meetings on it. What's up, Dad?
Few places can you go today and find man and beast working together as partners making a living. Clarence Clemens and Charles Pritchett and their horses work together on a daily basis.
Come on, buddy. Come over here a minute. Up out of that hole. Up here, Henry.
It's not easy work logging in the mountains of Jackson County, but it is a living and a hard one.
Well, it's dangerous and it's hard work.
You ever get tired of doing it?
You get tired of doing anything you do.
You sleep on your side of the bed.
Make you what? Couldn't hear you.
It'll make you sleep on your side of the bed.
From sunup to sundown, up and down mountainous logging trails. Snaking logs with real horsepower requires patience and old-timey know-how. This is no place for a machine. If there ever was a definition for hard work, logging with horses like this is it. Believe me, this is the hardest work I've ever been associated with. In Jackson County, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. 77-year-old Howard Jackson has spent the biggest part of his life right here operating Brown & Company, a true-to-life country store that was named some 50 to 60 years ago after a former partner. Howard Jackson, like clockwork, is here every day. He knows all about what's happening in and around the Marshall County community of Martling.
She's not, she's a lot better than she was, but she's not really, able to.
How long do you figure you'll operate the store?
Well, I don't know. I might live to be 100. You can't tell. I've been here a long time.
Howard Jackson's store ain't a whole lot to look at. The worn-out old building is every bit 70 to 80 years old, and it looks it. But Jackson's not in the business for his looks. He's not even interested in new customers. What'd you say about customers?
I said, hell, I got all I need.
You don't want more customers?
Well, I don't. If a cash customer would be all right.
But you don't want more credit customers?
Hell no. Let's get it. Get them tubs.
When Jackson first started to work in the store, a slop jar sold for around 98 cents. Today, a good slop jar sells for $11.95. Times have changed. Howard Jackson ain't exactly got a supermarket here. It's more of a museum. But he's got all the business he wants, and besides, he's the boss. In Martling, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. Is it hard being your own boss?
No, it's not.
No, it's not. No. You then They come from everywhere to the Athens Old Time Fillers Convention. They come to see folks like 84-year-old Claude Cassidy of Fort Payne and his older brother Carl. There's something for everyone at the Fillers Convention. A look and a listen is all it takes.
Has that ever been used for anything else?
No, sir.
Perhaps the most unusual instrument, if not the simplest, was the one used by Thomas Maupin, a 3/4-inch piece of plywood. Maupin and his two brothers know how to make plywood sing and draw a good crowd.
I learned him every lick he ever known.
You do?
I'm his brother, 4 years older than he is.
Are you as good as he is?
I hope to be.
They say if you want to do some good flat-foot bucking, get up here now. The only thing to use is good 3/4-inch plywood because the inch just won't get it. I only have the rhythm. Been at it at the old-time Fillers Convention. I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. Wood's already smoking.
Now, as far as right.
R.E. Buddy Raby is a man with a problem.
I got a problem.
Raby's problem is he's the owner of 1,800 muscadine vines, and each and every one is ripe and ready right now.
How big a problem have you got?
10 acres problem. Nothing. Just millions of muscadines getting ripe all at the same time. And we need some people in here to pick. It's like I said, a pick your own operation.
Due to a very late frost back in the spring, Raby's 10-acre muscadine vineyard is about a month and a half behind schedule. Now, Raby has muscadines, millions of them, practically running out of his ears.
Those things pretty good, aren't they?
Real good. It's just no taste like it. It's about the best tasting thing you ever seen. If you ever want to put a good taste in the guy's mouth, give him a muscadine.
You can pick all you want at the Raby Wright Vineyard in Limestone County. Now, they'll cost you 60 cents a pound, but you'll make Buddy Raby feel a whole lot better.
This stuff safe to drink?
Yes, right.
Nothing quite like a good stiff drink of pure muscadine juice to get you up and going. Going where, I don't know. So if you're looking for some good muscadines, get over to Raby Wright Vineyard. This weekend will be a good time because he's got millions of them ripe and ready, right?
Right, you're right.
At Raby Wright Vineyard, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. How about get me another shot of this?
Carry on.
You just don't find stores anymore like E.R. Roberts in downtown Hartselle. 65 years in the same location. Never any advertising, never a sale, not even a phone. Just an old-fashioned store that's still in business thanks to owners Eaton and Buford Roberts and longtime customers like Kyle Chenault.
I've been coming in here ever since back, I don't know, when I was a little boy, I used to come up here on a load of cotton and sit out here in front of this store and come in here to get me a drink, riding a mule wagon, you know, about.
Still buy stuff in here?
Oh, yeah.
What kind of stuff you get in here now?
Well, all my wearing stuff, I just rather get it here. It's a standard name. These old hee-haw breeches, Liberty, you know.
Is that all you wear?
Well, I wear them a lot, sure do.
That's about all he wears.
So this is a good place to go to.
E.R. Roberts.
Yeah.
That's all that reminds me of Hartselle now.
Yeah.
Specializing in felt hats and Liberty overalls, Eaton Roberts, who'll be 87 in March, has never seen a need for change and still doesn't.
How do you treat your customers?
Well, I try to treat them where they'll come back, and I don't know if that's any secret, but everybody knows me. 65 years in the same location. Why, you know, they'd know who I am.
I don't know of anything modern that we have in the store. Everything is tried and true. Really, they come here to buy things that they can't get anywhere else.
E.R. Roberts store is open 6 days a week, and yes, it is a step back in time.
E.R. Roberts store is unlike any other. Buford and Eaton Roberts are in business as a hobby, not necessarily to make money. And there's just not many stores that are like that. At Robert's store in Hartsville, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. 70-year-old Earl Whitaker is a quiet sort of guy, except when it comes to relaxing at home. Whitaker has been making music since he was about 12 years old, growing up in New Hope. The fiddle, guitar, and mandolin are his specialty, but it's his mandolin that Whitaker praises the most. Earl Whitaker was 10 years old in 1927 when his older brother paid almost $80 for this already second-hand Martin mandolin. $80 then was a bunch of money. Well, 30 years ago, Whitaker's brother got his hand crushed and gave Earl the mandolin. Today, the Martin mandolin has been assessed at $10,000. And Whitaker says it's worth every dime when it comes to playing old-timey tunes like the Arkansas Traveler and Ragtime Annie.
There's some, I don't like too well. Ragtime Annie's a good mandolin tune. Chicken Reel. Yeah, I'll play you a little bit of Chicken Reel.
All right, hit it. Earl Whitaker's prize mandolin ain't for sale for no amount of money. Besides, what's he going to play the Chicken Reel or the Arkansas Traveler or Ragtime Annie on? Hit it. In New Hope with Earl Whitaker and his prize mandolin. I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. Bob Golub is somewhat of a traveling salesman. While appearing at the Comedy Club last week, Golub hit the streets of Huntsville to peddle his wares.
You feel lucky today? Mm-hmm. You interested in Bob's Lucky Potatoes?
Yes.
I'll tell you what I'll do. Being that, you're a nice woman and I feel like you're going to be my first customer today, I'm going to give you a deal. I'll tell you what, I'm going to sell it for $1. And if it don't bring you luck, you can eat it. You can't do that with the pet rocket or rabbit foot, right? No.
Golub is known across the country as Mr. Potato.
I'm not saying there's not a
2.5 years ago in New York City, a broke, busted, and disgusted Bob Golub had a 5-pound sack of potatoes to his name. That was it. So while watching the street people sell their stuff, Golub took up peddling spuds. Of course, these were sprinkled with his grandmother's so-called lucky water.
Because I like you, I'm special. You're a special person. I come down here for Huntsville to run into you. I'm going to give you one for $1.
A potato?
No, what you're saying, a potato, it's Bob's Lucky Potatoes. Bob's Lucky Potatoes. There you go. There you go. And why don't you give it a shot, sir?
You ever feel stupid doing this?
Yeah, I've felt stupid when people haven't bought them. Like down here, I'm looking at it getting run out of town, man. I thought, people like, they look at me like I'm crazy and stuff. So, everything is irrelevant. What is luck? People bought the pet rock. People have rabbit foots. These are just a different thing of luck. Hey, I give one of these to the Redskins last week. Doug Williams, the quarterback, and they won the game.
What's so special about Bob's Lucky Potato?
They got water sprinkled on them from my grandmother's well in Pennsylvania.
Bob Golub is certainly no small potato when it comes to bothering folks. And as far as Bob Lucky Potatoes go, well, I don't know if they bring you good luck or not, but at least it's worth a try. Sell them.
Listen, folks, why don't you try Bob's Lucky Potatoes? What do you got to lose, folks? Give it a shot.
Jamie Cooper.
Bob's Lucky Potatoes.
47-year-old Herschel Wayne Bunk Hagee is a little different. Well, mainly because of the car he drives. Hagee's 70 model Pontiac Ventura is his pride and joy, and is definitely a sight for sore eyes. How come you got a car like this, Bunk?
Well, I just won't be different than anybody else, I reckon. That's all I know.
Bunk Hagee admits all his life he's wanted to be out of the ordinary, and his car is sort of a way of expressing himself, though at times it can be embarrassing.
It embarrassed me a lot of times. People looking at us so much.
What else you gonna do to it?
I'm gonna do it right smart more to it. I don't know right now till I get started on it. Got a little bit more on to it. First one thing another when you get started on it. Just didn't want to find a place to put it.
You feel different driving this car?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I feel a lot different.
How come orange?
I just like orange. Showed up a lot better.
What do people say about your car?
Some people like it, some people don't, some...
Well, one thing Bunk Hagee doesn't have to worry about, and that's losing his car in a parking lot.
Bunk Hagee always wanted to be a little different, and now with his Stripe Mobile, and he expects to have that lettered right here real soon, Stripe Mobile, I'd say he got his wish. Orange looks good on you, Bunk. In Huntsville, Bunk Hagee and his Stripe Mobile. I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. That is one pretty car.
Okay.
You have to get him ready.
Before I don't want to bring him out here dirty. I want him clean when I bring him out. It'll take about 2 seconds.
Shandy Callie's a little different when it comes to rodeos. Not because her husband Alan is a rodeo clown and rides a mule, but mainly because her partner for the past 4 years has been this buffalo.
Right at the buffalo? Will he look up at you if you do it?
Looking at this Cherokee Chief. He's a 5-year-old buffalo steer. Owned and presented by a lady. The other,
Not a stud buffalo.
he's a steer. He's been cut. No, if he was a bull, there would be no way. I wouldn't even think about working.
I wouldn't be.
Cherokee Chief, he's called, a 1,400-pound, 5-year-old buffalo that's part of this year's Limestone County Sheriff's Rodeo in Athens.
Can I come a little closer?
You know, buffaloes, to some extent, they never lose that wild instinct. You know, they're just always wild.
The Callies have been traveling the rodeo circuit the past 7 years. Recently, Shandy with a buffalo act and Alan with his mule Cadillac.
You got a right blinker, left blinker, mule skin seat covers with the hair on it. I got a retractable hat rack.
Bobby K. Tate of Texas is also in Athens this week, and she's no ordinary cowgirl. Bobby K. is Miss Rodeo USA.
Now I know what they mean by buffalo breath. If you're looking for family entertainment at its best, be right here Friday and Saturday night. Plus you get to see the Beauty, the Beast, and the Beauty and the Beast. I don't like touching this dude too much. For the Limestone County Sheriff's Department Rodeo, Friday and Saturday night. In Athens, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. Yeah, boy.
To most folks in and around the Mooresville area, there's only one type of strawberry, Marsh's strawberries. For the past 30 years, Ruth Marsh has been in the strawberry business. She and her late husband started with 1 acre and delivered the berries to town and sold them. Today, Ruth Marsh has 5 acres of strawberries and folks waiting in line to get them.
What is it about your strawberries that make everybody seem to want them?
Well, there's not many grown right now, so they have to be the best when you can't get someone else's.
2 or 3 days a week, Miss Marsh delivers her berries from the field to a roadside stand in Mooresville, where at times as many as 100 strawberry lovers have been waiting, each having to sign in on the paper sack and hope their name is called.
Susan Graham, 1 crate. Susan Graham.
Can't you get strawberries anywhere?
Sure you can, but you can't get this kind.
What makes this kind special?
They're Marshes, and they're sweet strawberries. They're good strawberries. They're always good.
You ever feel sorry for people when they're all gone?
Yes, I do. I feel sorry for her. I'm sorry you didn't get any.
I got some good news and some bad news about Marsh's strawberries. The good news is they good, and the bad news is they ain't no more. Right? Till next season. They are good. In Mooresville, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. Where's my name gonna be called?
Catch it with a extension and half-inch socket. There you go.
Donald Maples has always been a little different. That's why this boat he's built will be capable of 175 miles per hour once it's finished. And not bad for a 19-foot drag boat with a 454 big-blown engine. The 40-year-old Maples has always had something a little bigger than anyone else. 5 years ago, it was this Chevrolet Vega. Then for a year, he worked on building the largest four-wheel drive truck in the world, Samson 1. When Samson was completed 4 years ago, there were only 5 monster trucks in the country. Today, there's almost 500, with Samson and the legendary Bigfoot running in the top 5.
What does it feel like to be a star these days?
No, it's different.
Did you ever think it would be this?
When I really first started, I didn't think it would, end up like this, but it got bigger all the time. You wonder if you're going to turn over or go backwards, mostly.
You like showing off?
Yeah, well, I don't call it showing off. It's just taking a chance.
Donald Maples and Samson travel across the country these days, crushing cars and entertaining crowds. Donald Maples will have his car-crushing monster truck at the Hazel Green Truck and Tractor Pull this weekend.
Donald Maples would probably be just an ordinary guy if it wasn't for such big toys, but it's big toys like Samson 1 here that make Donald Maples a bit out of the ordinary. Near Huntsville, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper.
Give me $12, I'll swap with you. I'm getting it. You on the wrong route. Give me 12. I got to have $12 to move. I got the best now.
Trading knives with an old customer like James Bivens is just one of the many habits picked up by Sherman Satterfield over the years. Cleaning clothes is another one. Satterfield and his wife Jeanette have owned and operated 5 Points Cleaners and Laundry in Huntsville since 1955. Last week, the Satterfields sold their cleaning business, but not before a couple of well-known customers stopped in.
It's lipstick. It will be
Well, it should come out.
It'll be very noticeable.
It's a greasy, grease comes out.
And dog hair.
Dog hair.
Oh, yeah. We depend. We absolutely depend. Everything you see us wearing on the air, I think, has been cleaned at 5 Points Cleaners.
She's asked them to come over and cook, but they wouldn't go along with that. Just the laundry.
Just the laundry.
When the Satterfields first opened more than 30 years ago, to get a suit ironed was 50 cents. Today, it's $4.90. And no one knows the cleaning business better than the Satterfields.
Do most people take good care of their clothes these days?
Well, majority of them, but you got a few that's a little slouchy and they mess them up good.
What's the biggest problem you find here in cleaning people's clothes?
Finding ink pens and shirt pockets.
Ink pens and shirt pockets?
Yeah.
I call it without been, but you ain't doing so much business, you about used all the hangers up.
We're trying to.
The Satterfields claim they've cleaned just about everything in Huntsville, except for James Bivens' overalls.
Everybody tries to talk. You get your overalls cleaned here?
No, no pants. I just wash my overalls myself.
Oh, you wash your overalls, you clean. These days, the dry cleaning business is better than ever, thanks to polyester being out and dry clean only being in. But for the Satterfields, the days of worrying over those ink spots are now a thing of the past. Is that right?
Right.
At 5 Points Cleaners, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. I got a spot right here I need to.
76-year-old Gilbert Franklin Black is not really your typical football fan. He's more the extreme.
Well, good morning, Mr. Black.
Hello, Miss Black.
It's so good to see you.
Thank you.
Hadn't seen you in so long.
Well, good to see you.
Black made his first return to his office at Ragland Brothers yesterday after a couple of months of illness. His office matches his big orange suit. G.F. Black was in the class of 34 at the University of Tennessee, and to this day, he's a walking billboard for the Tennessee Volunteers. He just happened to be 0-3 and play Auburn Saturday.
What's that suit make you feel like?
Feel like I'm a Tennessee fan. Big orange man.
There ain't many people like you, is it?
No, not in this part of the country, there's not.
What is it about Tennessee that excites you so much?
I just went out there and just got used to it, and I'm an alumni of Tennessee. And just, it's in my blood, and I can't get it out.
And you like that suit?
I do, yes, sir, very much.
Black says his doctor won't allow him to attend any more games, but he's still proud to wear the suit his daughter made him 6 years ago. Well, mainly because he's never seen another like it.
There's no doubt that Gilbert Black is a Tennessee volunteer man through and through. And 4 years ago when I talked to him right before the Auburn-Tennessee game, he had on a pair of Tennessee volunteer shorts. I bet he still does. Do you?
You might it right, I do.
There you go, genuine shorts on television. Those are pretty.
Thank you.
In Madison County with the biggest volunteer fan around, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. Now what happens if Auburn beats you? You gonna take them off?
No, Wear 'em right on.
Business hasn't been good this summer for Larry Thompson. The phone seldom rings and customers are few and far between. But once there's a chill in the air, Thompson knows his business will be burning, literally. Thompson has the biggest pile of wood for sale this side of Texas. He's ready for winter.
Well, it's been a long, hot summer. And we are hoping for a long, cold winter.
Well, business ain't been too good.
It hasn't been too good yet. It's been a little too warm for people to be coming out here and loading wood. It's too hot to be stacking.
Thompson's log busters in Lacey Spring have spent the summer splitting wood, getting ready for cold weather. With some 800 truckloads already split and another 3,000 loads waiting uncut, Log Busters is ready for business to pick up.
Now, I know it's hard to imagine a cozy little fire with fall temperatures around 90 degrees, but those harsh days of winter will be here before you know it. Maybe even another big snow. And then, Larry Thompson will be a much happier man. At Log Busters in Lacey Spring, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper.
For as long as anyone can remember, someone's been making sorghum on Sand Mountain. Cousins JV and Monroe Miller know what making sorghum is all about. They should. Their family's been grinding the sorghum cane for nearly 100 years, each time adding nothing but know-how.
First thing I remember going to the sorghum mill back when I was a kid. Dad used to make, and his brothers, uncle, his uncle, his granddaddy.
Ain't there a lot of work making sorghum?
There's a lot of work to it.
What's the secret ingredient to Miller's molasses, Miller's salt?
Good ripe cane.
And know-how from the Miller boys, right?
Well, that has a lot to do with it.
You eat this stuff?
You made it right. Good for you. Got a lot of iron in it.
What's that do for you?
Builds your blood up.
A bucket of Miller Sand Mountain pure sorghum will cost you $8, a small price to pay for something so long in the making.
Let me tell you something about Miller's Sand Mountain sorghum. It may be hard to make, but it sure is good to eat. A little sticky, too. In Boaz, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper.
Stan Easy Garner could be classified as somewhat of a doctor, a skin specialist, you might say. Garner, for the past 4 years, has been the owner-operator of Magic Needles Tattoos in Huntsville. Gardner recently was awarded the most prestigious award in the tattoo industry at the annual International Tattoo Convention. It's the equivalent to country music's Entertainer of the Year.
Yeah, I get a lot of personal satisfaction out of it. I really enjoy doing it. And a lot of people, like, they'll ask me, what's the best piece I've ever done? I said, my next one.
A 19-year-old Amber McGee was having her 4th tattoo done by Gardner. She says she's always liked a tattoo.
Well, ever since I was little, I've wanted one. I guess when I was little and I'd see people walking down the street and they'd have them, I was just kind of like, wow. I was all starry-eyed, and I always wanted one since then.
Gardner himself has a few tattoos and many, many more pictures of ones he's done in the past.
Kind of give us a little modeling demonstration. If you want something that's going to stay with you a lifetime, maybe a tattoo is just what you need. It won't wash off, will it?
No.
It's with you permanently. So if you want a tattoo, they got thousands of designs to choose from, or just bring your own. At Magic Needles Tattoo Studio, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. Is it my turn now?
42-year-old Gary Galloway of Albertville loves to work with wood. Since his retirement from the insurance and construction business, Galloway has spent most of his time working on his latest creations. Galloway is also somewhat of a football coach. Well, sort of. He's created practically an entire team of wind-powered football players, each standing about 4 feet and weighing some 15 to 20 pounds. A true novelty for any Auburn, Alabama, or local high school lover's front yard.
Are they catching anybody's attention?
I'd say very well, because they're running off the road out in front of the house, trying to watch them rubbernecking around. They'll 8 or 10 a stop a day.
They buying a lot of them?
Doing good, sure are.
Do you like working with wood?
I love it. I'll leave them out there for people to look at. I just love to see the finished product on anything I do.
One thing about Gary Galloway's football players, they're always going to be on the move, just as long as the wind's blowing. You can own one of these Gary Galloway originals for about 30 bucks. The wind, you have to furnish. Only team I've ever been with let me be quarterback. In Albertville, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. Okay, boys, hut, hut! Billy Ramsey, owner of Ramsey Amico in Huntsville, doesn't believe in traditional advertising, such as television, radio, or newspaper. But he does believe in having what's probably the biggest advertisement in town.
Well, how is it up there?
Well, a little nervous. Too far up.
Got a good view?
Yeah.
Is that the only elephant you ever been on?
It's the only one.
It's not a real live elephant, but close. They call him Jumbo, all 20 feet and $10,000 worth of him. And it seems kids are fascinated by him, and he brings in the business.
That's a big old elephant. Look at his feet. Look at that. You gonna touch it again?
I'm the only one that has an elephant.
And you think he's drawing in some business?
Yeah, he's bringing in the business.
Ramsey got the fiberglass Jumbo back in November. He's used him for decorating at Christmas and plans on using him every holiday. Employee Larry Cates admits Jumbo has been a drawing card, but he's also been shot.
Got him right here in the back. Got him twice right there and once up at the top.
We went what?
Went plumb through him.
Thinking why they shot him?
I don't know. That's as an Auburn fan.
Jumbo has his advantages. He doesn't eat like most elephants. He never moves. And best of all, you don't have to clean up after him. Besides, you can't help but see him. Billy Ramsey plans on decorating Jumbo here for Valentine's Day. He also expects to keep him about another year, or as long as he keeps bringing in the business. In Huntsville with Jumbo, the fiberglass elephant, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper.
21.
The cash register doesn't ring as much as it used to, but it does ring enough to keep 86-year-old Doc Gray in business.
Oh, yeah, I like that music pretty good. That's what keeps me in business.
Doc Gray, owner of Gray & Holt on the Athens Courthouse Square, has been in business in the same location the past 55 years. There was a time when Gray & Holt was the place to shop. Times have changed and folks just don't flock in anymore to get their boots, overalls, hats, and long johns. Doc Gray says these days people are just too hard to please.
Hell, there's a lot of people that's like you. I bet you hard to please, ain't you?
Yes.
Well, I'm not. All my life, you just give me two things and I'm satisfied with. That's whiskey and women. They didn't have the golf. I never picked up a damn golf stick in my life. I don't know what a country club is or nothing. All I do my life, you just give me whiskey and women, they can have all the other entertainment they want.
Prentice Davis and Esther Shields are Doc's sales staff, and to hear Miss Shields tell it, there ain't nobody any better than Doc Gray.
Well, you can't beat him. He's fine as they make 'em. He's a good person to work for and a perfect gentleman. Never did see a crooked ought out of him the 28 years I've been here.
Doc, the 10th of 11 kids, was supposed to be a doctor. Well, that's where he got his name. Instead, he became a salesman, and a good one at that.
Doc Gray don't do no advertising, don't own no phone, and doesn't believe in credit. And if he had to do it all over again, he'd only change two things. He'd drink more whiskey and date more women. Is that right?
That's right. That's exactly right.
In Athens with Doc Gray, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper.
And I was born on Elkmont Route 2.
Elkmont Route 2 for all you single women. Now, what are you going to do if a bunch of women call you?
Well, they just talk and talk to them. I hadn't lost my voice, but everything but my voice is lost.
77-year-old Ted Maples is hoping for a blizzard this weekend. That way he figures to sell a right smart of wood. Maples, at his wood stand on Hobbs Island Road in Madison County, says wood sales to this point have been dead.
It's just like a casket business. If a man don't need a casket, you can't give him one. And if a man don't need a load of wood, you can't give him a stick of wood.
Well, weather just messed you up, hadn't it?
Slowed me down.
Maples, who's been in the wood selling business half his life, right now has some 80 ricks of oak and hickory for $35 a load, ready to burn. But in the meantime, it's whittling and dipping that occupies time.
You like that snuff?
I love it.
Kind of messy, though, isn't it?
Oh, hell, that's the reason I love it. It's messy. Filthy, but I still love it.
Good on your teeth, too, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Good on your clothes. I've quit hides 5 times a day. Be going down the road and spit on my shirt sleeve and throw my snuff away and then buy me some more.
Maples expects to sell out this weekend. And then come summer, he sells watermelons, and he hopes it's hot.
Well, if Gary's right in the cold forecast for this weekend, of course, as he usually is, then Ted Maples here will probably do a pretty good business. But don't worry just in case he doesn't, because he'll still be up to snuff. In Eland, I think you got it on your shirt sleeve. I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper.
On the bridge.
Line's freezing up here, too.
Your eyes on your reel freeze up. Have to keep shaking them.
Ronnie Flakes and Byron Poole were two guys yesterday who were just taking advantage of a day off, thanks to the icy conditions. Flakes and Pooh were fishing for striped bass at Ditto Landing on the Tennessee River. Flakes, a school teacher at Davis Hills in Huntsville, and Poole, employed by the State Mental Health Department in Decatur, were certainly making the most of a very cold day off, at least according to them.
School's out today. No school. Just having an enjoyable morning.
Yeah, but any kind of cold out here?
Well, not when you get around that fire. Get warmed up, come back out, fish a little bit.
Well, doesn't it help when you're catching something?
Helps a whole lot when you catch something.
Some people would say you were crazy. We creep down the parkway at 10 miles per hour this morning at 8 o'clock. You know, risk of life to get down here and fish, man. You know, those bridges are pretty dangerous at 8 o'clock. Well, you know, thanks to Dr. Kayla, I get a chance to come fish today instead of teach school.
So does the cold doesn't bother you?
No, man, I think the coldest day out here is better than the warmest day sitting in a classroom, honestly.
Though the two did have a fire, it was still a bit on the chilly side on the banks of the Tennessee River. But that didn't seem to bother these two, who pride themselves on being fishermen.
If Ronnie Flakes and Byron Pooh could get their way, they'd fish every day and hope the temperature would get way below zero. A little ice would help too, because that way there'd be no school. On the Tennessee River at Ditto Landing, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. Think the fire's going out.